Hello and welcome to Contain Mild Peril, a weekly podcast where we talk films and occasionally TV and once live theatre. We don't really know what we're talking about.
It's an entertainment podcast.
It's an entertainment. What?
Yeah, we'll start bringing comic books into the very soon.
We kind of did in our bonus episode last week.
What bonus episode is that?
That's where we review James Cameron's Spider-Man.
Oh.
I don't really review it. I guide you through it.
Where would I find?
You can find that on SoundCloud or YouTube. Yes, by the time this comes up on YouTube, not quite when we're recording though, and iTunes and Stitcher.
Stitcher?
I have no idea what that is even, but we're on it. I've had the confirmation.
Loads of podcasts are on Stitcher. I never used it.
In my opinion, my uneducated opinion, it's where people can't get podcasts from if they don't have iPhones or
although to be honest, who are those people? I mean,
shall we? How was your week?
Yeah,
you had a
busy.
little gallivant.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch many films. I went to Bruges and Ghent, and then got back, and then just went out for what was quite just a very heavy and big night. Spent yesterday recovering and still recovering today, so I was going to see Blade Runner so bloody early. I had to get up at 8.
Yeah.
Still, you made me miss Andrew Marr, Jack. Not that I watch Andrew Marr anyway.
But it's a good excuse to. It was dead when we went, which was good actually because it had more space.
It's early, though. You were the one who told me a while ago because we were going to see something. We were our mother. We were going to see it on a Sunday, and I was like, "Let's just go to the morning school." And they were like, "Oh, I do like my lines on Monday morning."
No, you want to record the podcast early in the morning.
Yeah. It's like. Get out of the way. I don't enjoy this.
I didn't enjoy getting out of the It was like because it's such a long film as well.
Yeah,
it's nice. It was nice that we had a bit more space. And
yeah, I mean,
because I bet the screening after would have been like full to the brim.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be sort of
doing that well at the box office.
But I ordered a really big coffee because I needed one. Not recommended for this movie. Not recommended. I sprinted. I got quite a lot of weird looks. I sprinted past. Yeah, not recommended for a movie this length. I'll say that before we move on to it.
I'm not the one that always goes to the toilet during movies, and I hogged it out for the whole thing.
You went for a piss during Mother, or shit. I don't know.
It wasn't that long, was it?
It depends. When the movie's playing, you need to go to the toilet. You need to sort of hurry up. I hurried up. I went.
Yeah, I did go to the. Shall we get on with it, and we'll talk about our toiletry habits at another time.
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah.
Right, so what have you been watching this week?
Well, I watched 3 films, including the original Blade Runner.
Let's do the original Blade Runner last.
Well, I watched 2 films on the coach. Some guy was watching them and asked if I could watch them with him. I mean, he was at his laptop off, and it was quite a 6-hour coach, and I was like, what can I watch? It turned out they were both absolutely shit. All Eyes on Me, the 2-pack biography.
Oh, that's the one Jay-Z produced, isn't it?
Yeah, awful. And the latest Pirates of the Caribbean, which was awful as well. I mean, the thing is that's what I've watched, but I don't really want to talk about them. They were just sort of. I don't want, nothing about them is just sort of. I mean, I could go talk about the 2-pack one a little bit. I'm not really that much of a 2-pack fan, even if I am a Rat fan. But he has a really interesting life, and it somehow made it seem really tedious and convoluted in a way that
it really should have been in
that. Yes.
No, he's not too massive.
No. But they could have made it a much better biopic. A lot more happened in 2-pack's life than Biggie's life, and that was one of the weaknesses with Notorious B.I.G. film, was that there was a lot of filler in there. Whereas this one, there was a lot going on, it just wasn't done very well, and it was just it just ended up feeling really sort of messy, which wasn't very good. The new Parts of the Caribbean one is just sort of it's lazy in every aspect of what is wrong with Hollywood today.
The thing is, I like the first 3. I know most people like the first one, and then they don't like the second 2, but I do like the second 2, and then it's just got gradually worse from there.
It's like it's like eating a ready meal.
Yeah.
Like, so say if I order a chicken tikka ready meal.
Yeah.
it's not a chicken tikka. It's a pale imitation of.
I say it still does the job.
No. It's not fresh. It's not natural. It's reheated, literally. That's where I was going. That's why I chose ready meals as an analogy.
A lot of places don't give fresh meals.
I'm not asking for a fresh meal. I'm just thinking there's no reason for the sequel, and it becomes so apparent that there's no reason.
There was a reason. It made loads of money.
Yeah, no, I mean any sequel really. Yeah.
Well, apart from the one we're going to discuss today, I suppose.
Well, it's also about money, but it's just sort of nothing. Not nothing interesting, but what I did watch, which I really liked, was the season premiere of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was incredible. It achieves something and carves out a whole new type of comedy you didn't know existed before, and can only seem to be done by Larry David in Curb, because he can't do it anywhere else. But what have you been? Obviously, you've had the opportunity to watch a lot more than me, so
yeah. Anyway, so then the next day I watched Lincoln, which I still quite like. It's very long and it's not one you should really rewatch, I don't think.
Why not?
Because maybe you should. I don't know. It's just very political and
I think
it's hard to watch.
I think they should have done with that movie what Steven Soderbergh did with the Che biopic, in that he split it into two distinct periods of his life. And I know that Lincoln was basically built around one historical moment in the film.
Yeah.
But it felt like it should have been two films. Because it starts to veer off and explore other things.
It's not really about Lincoln. It's about his administration.
No, but that's the thing. Is it about Lincoln? Yeah, you're right. But at times it seems like it wants to go in more of that biographical direction and just cuts it off. Yeah.
There's Close Encounters about Aliens.
Well, and the relationship with his son as well.
That's a bit weird.
But they don't really explore that.
That's why it's weird. It's just
there are two movies: his early life leading up to it, and then this big political.
But nothing comes of his relationship with his son, because he says, "I want to go to war," and he refuses to let him go to war, and then he does let him go to war, and then just ends.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So you're not a great movie then. You're not a fan.
No, I do like it. I think it's because I like history, and it's a very good representation of what happened during that period of history. Maybe it's not good as a Lincoln biopic, but as an exploration of how the 16th Amendment of 30, whatever one it is, that amendment got passed. It's quite well.
We just said it was quite political. Was that something?
Yeah, it's no, I do like it, but it's not something that I could watch again and again.
Oh,
this is like my third or fourth time watching it.
Oh, right, you didn't mention that. I thought it might be your second time.
No, it's
why did you watch it then?
Because I have seen. It's my third or fourth time watching it. I haven't seen it in 3 years, maybe.
Okay.
Well, when did it come out? 2012. Yeah, probably 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
What do you think of the Steven Spielberg documentary coming out?
I'm interested in it. I don't think it'll be very insightful in terms of his personal life or something.
No, I don't think it's about film, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I think it's more people praising him. Rather than,
it's
not going to be an in-depth documentary about how the sort of person is and why his films are like that.
But his films have left an everlasting. I mean, this new Blade Runner is clearly inspired by Close Encounters, right?
Yeah.
Both AI and Close Encounters.
Really? Well, especially AI is inspired by the first Blade Runner.
We'll talk about that later.
Right. Shall I go through the films that aren't Blade Runner first? And then then we can start talking about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I saw Goodbye Christopher Robin on Sunday, which wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. I was hoping for a little, sort of a nice family film about how Winnie the Pooh was made. It was really depressing. And his
why?
Well, because he basically. A.A. Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh, fought in World War One, and he was suffering from PTSD when he got back, so he's really miserable. And then he starts playing with his son, whose real name's Christopher Robin, but they call him Billy Moon. And then obviously they start playing with Winnie and Tigger and etc. I think everyone knows roughly the story of the origins of Winnie the Pooh. And then when he writes Winnie the Pooh and they're bonding, writes Winnie the Pooh and it gets released. And then they start wheeling Christopher Robin out on promotional tours and stuff like that, and it's quite.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's very kind. And Christopher Robin's like raised by a nanny. And
Is that Margot Robbie's character?
No, it's who's the Scottish one? Kelly McDowell.
Yeah.
She's really good in it actually. Margot Robbie not so much.
Oh.
But
apparently, have you heard this new film? She's in the figure skater biopic.
Yeah,
Apparently, people are talking about Oscar.
No,
People guaranteeing Oscar.
She's a very good actress. Just this film wasn't very good in it. And so it's quite depressing and not very fun. Oh, and then the next day I saw a film that I know both of us really wanted to see. My Life as a Courgette.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's really good. I really.
During my Letterboxd dark days where I wasn't logging movies. Did you like it?
Well, that was also the podcast Dark Days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
we don't talk about that period.
No, it was an hour long. It feels like a full length movie. Like it covers every base.
Yeah.
It didn't need to any longer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it was.
Did you watch the French version or
the English version? Okay. I don't really watch subtitle films if they're animation. I watch the dub version.
Even Stuart Ghibli.
Well, yes, unless they're only released in the film version. Like Your Name, there's no English dubbing, so I watched it in the Japanese version.
I mean,
it's
I don't
fine,
see. I'm not a purist about it.
No.
I think I don't. But I don't. Yeah, I'll just see if it's on. Just
subtitles.
See whatever way I can.
Live action, I'd always watch subtitled because the dubbing's never any good.
I watched the really badly dubbed. I had to stop watching it and watch the original, really badly dubbed version of Hard Boiled, the John Woo classic Hong Kong action movie. It just didn't. It just seemed so wrong. It just didn't. It almost unwatchable.
Why would you? Just don't watch it.
It wasn't my fault. I just stepped into it. Incredible film.
Then I saw Funny Face as well the same day.
Oh yeah.
Which the Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, did you like it?
I did like it. It's not. I do really like sort of like golden age of Hollywood musicals. It's not one of the best, but it's.
Is it golden age? It's not. It's a little bit after golden age.
Well, 60s. It depends how you define golden. No, it's 57.
Oh, okay.
I'll say golden age. Yeah, I'd say golden age goes up to like. Well, when New Hollywood didn't really start until like the 70s.
Yeah.
So what would you define the 60s as?
Was obviously the predominant movement in the 60s is the French New Wave.
Yeah, but in Hollywood.
And it's the explosion of international cinema because like all the big names of international cinema. It's a bit of a lull. It's known as a bit of a lull period for American cinema.
I don't know. There are stuff. No, there's stuff in the American like Mary Poppins and My Fair Lady and there's a few things in America.
No, but in terms of like, is it enduring a bit? Like, it's really the 70s where you get the new Hollywood movies.
Yeah, I don't.
The golden age of musical, I'm thinking of like the Vincent Minnelli stuff, which is sort of 30s.
I'd say sort of Singing in the Rain period is more, this is from that, wave. But it's got its moments. Obviously, the Audrey Hepburn dance in the bar. Have you seen it?
No.
There's a famous Audrey Hepburn where she dances in the bar, sort of like a interpretive dance, which is the classic. You must know that one.
Yes.
Yeah, and a couple of the songs are quite good. But it's a problem I have with a lot of old films that.
Oh no, Memories of Trouble in Paradise.
No, is that the age gap between the leading man and the leading woman is so huge. It's just like she was like 29 when she filmed this, and Fred Astaire was like late 60s. It's just got a bit unbelievable. But there's a lot of that's sort of standard, I think, in Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Of that time, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But I do feel that. Well, I did feel until I saw this film that like Hollywood now is more sort of an industry rather than you don't have as like the original stuff as much that you did back in the golden age.
What now?
Sense? Yeah.
I think it's still a massive.
It's not a place for innovation, Hollywood, as much as it was back then.
Well, the thing is that we have the benefit of time, so it sort of acts as a bit of a filter. In the same way that people will filter out the best movies from our period and see it, and not view the like we don't get the sort of perspective of the year. Like every Friday movies are released. I think more movies are released from Hollywood now than there are today.
Yeah.
We just don't see the shit. The shit sort of just drains away,
True, but even the good stuff now are still a lot of them made by committee, and things are set beforehand.
But I think the thing is that that's with the benefit of technology. The approach hasn't changed. The thing is, Hollywood will always cater to its audience, so a lot of what the popular films at a certain time were reflective of the audience.
But there's lots of different films back then. You have your hard-hitting dramas, and you have your musicals.
There are a lot of different films today. It's just you have to look a little bit harder for them.
I wouldn't say it's any more intellectual. Maybe I'm like Hollywood specifically. The indie movement in America is a very innovative and has a lot of variety, whereas the Hollywood system itself, I think, less so.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, shall we move on? I saw this was the film I was talking to you about earlier, the TV film. It's voted fourth. The BFI TV 100, which was a list of this piled in 2000, so quite a while ago, of the best British TV programmes ever made.
Okay.
This was voted fourth best. So it's not a 75-minute film. It's we'll get to that.
Okay.
It's The Naked Civil Servant. Have you heard of it? John Hurt plays Quentin Crisp.
Yeah.
The reason I watched it is because podcasts I listen to.
Do you want to shout him out?
The Frank Skinner show.
Okay.
It's a radio show I did down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But he was saying that when he
needs more hits. Like he needs more hits.
No. But he watched it when it first came out, and he was saying that he would have considered himself homophobic back then, and it changed his mind about.
Wow.
So I thought, that's quite interesting. And then watching it, I can totally see how it's very out there for the 70s.
Really?
Like 10 years after being gay was decriminalised, and it's set about 20 years before that. It goes from when does it go from 1928 to 1975, so it spans quite a long time. But you can tell because no matter what you think of gay people, I imagine most people now are
hopefully, I mean, yeah.
But, even if I can imagine if you're completely homophobic, he's very funny and charming and witty, and all the homophobic people are just bullies and dumb and idiotic. So you certainly side with him, but it is a very clever TV program, very interesting.
I'll have to watch it.
Talking about how he started off as a closeted man, and then he found the underground gay community and decided to they call them I can't remember what they call it, an effeminate gay they call it.
Okay.
So he decided to it's quite, you can't choose to be effeminate, but dress a lot more boldly and
Okay.
And then he became a male prostitute for a bit, and they decided to become abstinent, and it's very interesting. Takes it all through his life.
Okay.
And Quentin Crisp introduces it as well, so which I think is quite interesting that you get to see the man who John Hurt's playing before you actually see him. Yeah, it's kind of a brave move, really. Yeah, because
did he just step out in front of the camera?
No, he's sitting behind the desk. He's standing up drinking a cup of tea. It's they're just saying, when they told me they wanted to make a film of my life, and it sort of gives an introduction, and then the film properly starts.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so it just goes to show how good his performance is. That you know what Quentin Crisp looks like, and how his mannerisms are before that, and you're still convinced that he is Quentin Crisp.
Okay.
And there's a sequel written. It was released 10 years ago.
Yeah. Called
An Englishman in New York, after the Sing song.
Yeah.
Because that was written about Quentin Crisp, that song.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's about how he goes to New York and is suddenly accepted as a gay man. So I'll be quite interested to see that. Because I think that'll be particularly after this one.
What was number one on the list?
Number one on the list was 40 Towers. Oh. Do you want me to go through a few of the? I've got the list up.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
40 Towers was number one.
What, TV movie?
No, there's just TV. Naked Civil Servant is a TV movie, but this is just anything. That's
just do a top 10.
Okay, 40 Towers number one.
Yeah.
Kathy Come Home.
Oh yeah.
It's a Wednesday play. They did a lot of BBC and ITV. They did plays every week.
Yeah.
Which are TV plays.
Yeah.
Which is how Mike Leigh and Ken Loach. Yeah. Well, this was a Ken Loach, Kathy Come Home. A lot of these sort of kitchen sink directors.
Yeah.
Came in. Yeah. Number three. But do you want to guess some of these?
No, I don't want to guess.
Number three is Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
Number four, Naked Civil Servant. Yeah. Number five, Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yeah.
Season's quite obvious.
Yeah.
Number six, Blue Peter.
Okay, interesting choice.
Number 7. I've got no idea what this is. Boys from the Black Stuff. Number 8.
Sounds a bit heavy.
Bit of a weird one. Parkinson.
Yeah,
Chat
iconic.
show.
Iconic.
Yeah,
So
I
many
suppose it
iconic
was.
interviews. I watched an interview with Orson Welles. Quite incredible.
9 was Yes Minister / Yes Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Number 10 was Pride Shed Revisited.
Yeah.
And number 11 actually was Abigail's Party, which is got your Mike Lee and a Ken Loach.
Yeah.
And then
You've signed a bloody.
I Claudius, Dad's Army, stuff like that. Blackadder.
Yeah.
World at War, which I would have put right at the top. It's teach you through the entire World War Two. 20 parts.
Yeah.
That's like 19, which I'm quite surprised by.
Yeah.
But below, absolutely fabulous, and the wrong trousers, the Wallace and Gromit.
No, the wrong trousers on TV the other week. I watched it all the way. Incredible.
I think
Absolutely incredible.
I think the other two are better.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really compared them.
Yeah. 28 Up. Have you seen the Up series?
No.
I really want to see that. You know what they're about?
No.
It's a documentary. Roger Ebert mentions it in
A Life Itself.
Yeah. He mentions it in there. It's like it follows a group of they start off at children, and the documentary crew come back every 7 years and sort of interview them again and see what they're up to.
Oh yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
I'll be trying to see that, and I think the next one's due out in a couple of years time. Which will be and like one of them's died and one of them's left the program. But,
You sure you would like that after you see you hate boilers so much?
Well, they don't have to act, do they? What programs from the last 70 years do you think should be on the?
I don't think I'm in a position to comment. I don't really watch much British TV.
No, I think National Treasure, which I was on last year, was really good.
Really?
Yeah, you know National Treasure.
Which one is this? This
That's
one with
Robbie Coltrane and Julie Walters.
Oh yeah.
About
where's Only Fools and Horses on this?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question actually.
And also, are there no soaps in the top 20? Which I think is a little bit unfair.
No.
Because they are the most enduring shows on TV ever.
Yeah, but this is the best. It's not necessarily. Bear in mind it's BFI as well. How many BFI?
Where is Only Fools and Horses?
Well, I'm on 40 and it still hasn't popped up.
What? Seriously?
Oh, 45. Here you go.
Wow, that's quite low. That's very low. Porridge on them.
Below Steptoe, I think I've gone past Porridge. Porridge is 35.
Yeah, Vicar of Dibley? No, the only reason why I mentioned these shows...
Cracker was 13. Cracker is amazing. Have you seen Cracker?
Yes, I think I have, yeah.
I might choose a Cracker episode as... Because I've got a DVD box set of Cracker and all the stories are like edited into film.
The reason why I'm mentioning these shows is because they seem to have their appeal is enduring. Like Only Fools and Horses, despite being very old, has been very
Vicar of
popular.
Dibley's not on here. But I think they only had like 1 or 2 series out before 2000.
But these appeals is extremely like enduring. People still watch them today. These are the ones that keep getting re-aired. Why Faulty Towers so high on the list?
I don't know. Faulty Towers has endured though. I don't think it's as good as Only Fools and Horses. But,
exactly, yeah. It's but I think it's a BFI list, right? Who is it voted for by? They mentioned the committee.
It just says by the BFI.
I didn't realise.
Oh, by industry professionals.
They always have a flawless.
It seems weird that Doctor Who would be so high up, and Faulty Towers if it's industry professionals.
Why?
Maybe not Faulty Towers. Doctor Who, I imagine, is more. I've always thought of it. I love Doctor Who, but I always thought it's more kind of like popular TV series rather than sort of like.
But
it's never been critically acclaimed.
Yeah, but TV series are always popular. Like, that's how they continue by being popular.
I suppose. But
it's not. You don't judge TV shows in the way that you judge movies.
But like, if you look at the awards, Doctor Who never won any awards before. Once it came back, it started winning awards, but originally it never did.
So,
well, it's just because like that's how you judge how well an industry. That's how you judge how well an industry.
Did Faulty Towers win any awards? I doubt it did.
I suppose it's in retrospect as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also enduring appeal. That's why I mentioned sort of Vicar of Dibley, Only Fools and Horses. In particular, like they can rerun Only Fools and Horses. Well, they do rerun Only Fools and Horses all the time, and it continues to get views.
Yeah, I love Only Fools and Horses.
Top Gear should be in there.
Well, that's before 2000, before
Top Gear came out.
So yeah, Top Gear would probably be on there if it was compiled now. There's probably a couple of really big shows you've both seen that Probably a couple of the Farouz documentaries might be on there.
No, I mean they're like they're alright. Like they're sort of, especially a lot of his more popular ones.
But like if you
I don't learn much from Louis Theroux documentaries.
if you ask someone on the street like, have you seen any documentaries? Louis Theroux will be probably mention more than anyone.
Yeah, but if you ask someone on the street like, you know, do you watch Strip Me Come Dancing? They're likely to say yes. It's not. I mean, it's a BFI poll, not a popularity contest.
Perhaps we should suggest that they do another one. They should do another one.
Well, they might do what they do
because they do like a film this like every 6 months and then
every year. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They do film. The film one changed last year. Actually, do you know who number one is now?
I know
Vertigo was number one.
I don't know then.
Now it's Tokyo Story, which is really interesting. Have you seen it?
No.
Incredible film.
Yeah, it doesn't say that they've redone this list, so if they have, I'll be interested to see the updated list. But yeah. Anyway, shall I finish my the films I've seen? Oh yeah, I saw Attack the Block, which we talked about.
Yeah,
not on the podcast actually. So,
no.
It's alright film.
Just
I sort of had it on in the background while I was doing other stuff though, so I wasn't. John Boyega and.
Well, just an aside quickly. Do you tend to watch films when you watch films at home doing other stuff?
Depends on the film.
What films do you tend to work on?
I wasn't working. I was just like checking stuff on my phone.
Fucking hell, mate! Why?
Because I watched this immediately after Naked Civil Servant, so I was like, I just want something a bit more relaxing to like. And actually, the Naked.
Did it ever cross your mind like not to watch them?
The Naked Civil Servant is very funny, but it's just like
a bit hard.
You just want something a bit more relaxing.
Yeah.
And actually, I did watch. It's not like I was behind my phone the whole time. It was more just like I wasn't so strict about not looking on it.
Yeah. See, I really have. We spoke about this a little bit on my phone. I really try not to do that.
Yeah. It depends on the film. Like if I decide to watch Fast and Furious, for example, I don't care if I got on my phone.
But then the thing is, why will you watch it anyway if you're just not going to watch it with your phone attention?
I'd rather have something on the background than just stay on my phone for 2 hours not doing anything.
So to make you feel less guilty about using your phone, you throw a movie on it.
So would you watch the Fast and Furious films without? It's like you.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you'll go around your mate's house and watch a film with them and talk to them while it's on, won't you?
Yeah, but only if it's a film I've seen before. I get really pissed off if I haven't seen the film before and they're talking throughout. I watched this film with my mum. I forgot what it was. She just wanted to talk. I was like, "Shut up! We're watching a movie. I haven't seen this."
Yeah, well, it depends on the film. I thought most films.
And as a Fast and Furious, I've seen every Fast and Furious since 4 in the cinema. So
I've only seen
never got my phone out.
So the last film, I saw Blade Runner on the day after that, but we'll come back to that. I saw The Mountain Between Us, which is a new Idris Elba, Kate Winslet film, which is sort of like your standard survival movie. I thought it was based on a true story. It's not. It's based on a book. And because of that, it's very cheesy. And I don't really want to spoil it, but you know where it's going to go, and it's quite depressing. And it kept me entertained while I was on, but it felt very long.
You said it felt longer than Blade Runner.
Yeah, it did feel longer than Blade Runner. Because there's just bits where they walk through the snow, and it's very repetitive. They walk through the snow. Kate Winslet wants to, Idris Elba's clever, decides let's shout here for a few days. Kate Winslet goes, no, I want to keep moving. I'm bored. That's her motivation. I want to go somewhere more dangerous because I'm bored. And it turns out that she's probably better for it even. But
okay.
But yeah, anyway, yeah. And there's like I think in the trailer it's implies that they have a romance, and they do, and it's a bit cheesy. And
why did you go and see it?
Because I thought it'd be good.
And it wasn't, or
yeah, it was good, but it wasn't.
It was just okay.
It wasn't amazing. I don't go into every single film thinking it'll be amazing. It sort of did the job, but it felt
I did the job.
Yeah,
it's such a matter. It's such a frightening.
It was as good as I thought it would be. Probably.
Okay.
It just felt a lot longer. I think the problem is also after The Martian, I want every survival movie to be like that.
Really?
Whereas this is sort of as serious as survival movies normally are.
Okay.
It's a sort of survival movie, where it's like Castaway type survival.
Yeah.
Rather than like Roma Emmerich, action. I feel it's sort of split into 3 categories now. You've got the Martian sort of type of survival movie, the Roman Emmerich, and the and rich, and then the castaway type one was just someone or a couple people on their own somewhere on the road, just sort of like.
Have you seen the Red Turtle?
Right. No.
That was the Studio Ghibli movie from this. That was a sort of survival movie. A man gets washed up on an island in the middle of nowhere. No dialogue, but it's a very interesting survival movie.
Interesting, not enjoyable.
I wasn't as hot on it as everyone else seemed to be.
Yeah.
I just thought the visuals were... it's quite quaintly watercolour, simple, not typical Studio Ghibli style. The director's Danish. It's the first non-Asian director Studio Ghibli used. And like, it was alright. Not like... The symbolism was a little bit like... Because it was trying to be quite poetic and symbolic, and that was a little bit heavy-handed, and it just wasn't sort of... It wasn't... It was deeper than it... It was making itself out to be a lot deeper and meaningful than it really actually was. I mean, it touched on the same themes as most survival movies about what does it mean to be alive?
Yeah, that's kind of the same with this one. I just like said, life is precious. You got to hold on to it. You got to keep going.
Yeah,
it's a bit
sort of like that.
That's why I like The Martian, because it touches on that, but it's still quite fun. And I think I like more lightheartedness. Not it doesn't have to be lighthearted, just more glimmers of hope. I guess. Yeah, cool. The dog was a good actor. There's a dog in it.
Oh, okay,
that was very well. I say good actor. It was very well edited to make it look like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we talk Blade Runner then?
Yeah, let's talk Blade Runner.
Original Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain the plot to?
I think everyone knows. Do we explain the plot to Blade Runner?
Yeah, I suppose not. Let's. We'll no spoilers for the sequel. Let's just talk about Blade Runner purely as a film of itself.
One thing I think about Blade Runner is that it's the world it creates, and Ridley Scott's known for being a sort of world builder. That's what his strength as a filmmaker is, I think. Creating interesting and sort of vastly well realised worlds. It's more interesting for that than it is for the film itself. The plot for the film is very, like I said to you earlier, pretty by the numbers. Procedural police drama.
See, I don't think it is as much as you.
I think it is. I watched a remastered cut, and it was still a very very good movie. But yeah, I think like its strength for the film are like definitely in its in the way that it creates this incredible world that has inspired every sci-fi since. I'm not sure about its relation. I need to look into its relationship with the Japanese manga. Because I mentioned to you, Akira came out the same year. The world between Akira and Blade Runner is extremely similar.
Well, it's definitely inspired by Japanese.
No, but from what some people say, Japanese it had an impact on the Japanese.
But like, it seems to imply that sort of Japan and America sort of merged together. Japanese writing and stuff like that. So
why do you think that is?
I don't know, because were Japan this sort of futuristic, not futuristic, were Japan this sort of technology dominated country in the 1980s?
Yes. But I think it's strange, it imports all this sort of Japanese culture, like he's eating noodles, Harrison Ford.
No, there's a paragraph here. The article's about Blade Runner 2049, but this paragraph is about the first Blade Runner. And I think this sort of argues against your opinion that this is just a simple police procedural drama.
Yeah.
It says, it's such a simple question. Rachel Sean Young asks Rick Deckard, Harrison Ford, in Ridley Scott's 1982 film Blade Runner, have you ever retarded a human? They've just met in Edlon Tyrell's Oakland offices, and Deckard, a reluctant bounty hunter, has come to interview Rachel as a means to test LAPD's replicant detecting something device. Deckard's equally simple response, no, comes without hesitation. He nonchalantly shrugs it off as if he's never bothered to question the supposed difference between humans and the androids he's contracted to kill. The entire exchange takes about 5 seconds, yet it encapsulates everything that has fueled the public's decades-long love affair with Blade Runner's essential dread. What are humans? What myths do they take for granted? What have they been missing?
It wasn't the first movie to question what it means to be sci-fi as a means to question what it meant to be human.
But it's a very effective one.
Is
Probably
it?
the most effective in that it's endured.
Right.
I think it does question.
No, I think its aesthetic is endured. I don't think it's as a film as endured.
No, because I think what's endured more than the aesthetic about is the speech that what's that character called? The speech at the end.
Yeah.
Tears in Rain. That's endured more than anything else about Blade Runner.
No,
And
its
that
aesthetics enjoyed a lot more. You see,
It has no. I think in terms of influence, yes. But in terms of memories of the film in the public consciousness, I think people quote that before they say about the aesthetic.
yeah, but
And that is about the humanity of the film and about how, like, what does it mean to be human?
yeah. I understand it. Yeah, I think everyone, but I think the questions that it probes at it doesn't really sort of do. I mean, it does it well, but like if we're going to talk about Blade Runner as being one of the sort of greatest sci-fi movies ever made,
I don't think it is. I think it's very, very good, but I don't think it's amazing.
No, it's not top 5.
No.
But yeah, what I'm generally saying is, like, having watched this for the third time on, yesterday. It's just what struck out to me more. That generally it's quite a simple film, but difficult to understand. But I think that its reputation that's been bestowed on it is more so on how it looks and sort of filming it, that the sort of world that it presents, rather than it's the story itself. If you ask someone what Blade Runner's about, what will come to mind first is the sort of visual imagery of it rather than the story.
Yeah, but the thing, I don't think the story is so that procedural. Like, there's a lot more going on than that.
It's procedural in the sense that it's very sort of Ridley Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. I think you mean like it's a police procedural, like as a crime drama. It's very sort of secondary, whereas it's more like it probably follows the replicants just as much as it does Deckard's character.
I know what you mean, but I think that question, that more philosophical question about what it means to be human, is not probed that in the way that because that is the most interesting part of the movie. It doesn't go far enough to.
Well, you've got the whole bit in Sebastian's apartment where you've got the replicant, you've got Sebastian, he's a human, but then his glands age quickly, so he's not a perfect human.
Yeah.
He's an imperfect human. But then the replicants, are they perfect humans? Like, you have these two kind of like the antithesis between them, and then you've also got Sebastian's I don't know, toys or.
I mean, it's a great movie. It's like strikingly original. I'm just saying, if we're looking at it retrospectively, this is what struck me more than anything else. I'm not by no means calling it an average movie. It's more than an average movie.
When you first said it, you said it's just like a standard police procedural.
Yeah, it struck me how simple the plot was.
It is simple, but that allows for a lot more to go on in the background.
What's going on in the background?
Well, I told the questions about humanity and whether,
but they're not explored.
Does Tyrell does he have a responsibility to the replicants because he created them?
Yeah, but I think now you're projecting on the movie. I think.
Am I?
Because of the world it created. So.
Well, no, these are in there. Like Tyrell's throughout the whole movie, Tyrell's presented as very reasonable. Like, unlike Jared Leto's character in the sequel, Tyrell's presented as a very sort of kind-hearted, clever sort of.
Yeah, but if we look at movies that have really sort of asked the same questions as it, that have done it a lot better, including this new Blade Runner, they've conveyed that in a way that's a lot more direct, and it provokes a lot more. It provokes, just generally provoke. Like, AI is one that asks the same questions as Blade Runner, but it does them in a way that confronts them more. It actualises the principle.
Then you have to find your actor AI, which I think does ruin it a bit.
Maybe
it goes off.
It's still, but that's beside the point.
No,
it's how if it's asking those same questions, it does it.
I'd rate Blade Runner above AI.
Yeah, I would.
But and also like I was saying, like, Tyrell's always presented as a reasonable sort of normal person, but then what's the main replicant called? Roy Batty. That's it.
Yeah.
So with when Roy kills him, can you blame him? Because he doesn't take responsibility for his creations. He's probably just as bad as Jared Leto's character in the sequel, even though he's less tyrannical. Because he does exactly the same thing as Jared Leto does. He's just
that's what point you're making.
So, like, it highlights these things about, like, the evil nature of man and how who's more human, Roy or Tyrell? Because Tyrell's this maniacal tyrant, but.
I'm not denying that it does answer the questions. I'm just saying it doesn't probe at them enough in a way that really, like, the best sci-fis really do probe at. That's the point. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't talk about these sort of things. It just doesn't do it in a way that if we're going to talk about Blade Runner,
but then nothing you're projecting onto the film is it trying to
No, but because I said like I said, I'm watching it retrospectively. You naturally compare it alongside its reputation as one of the best sci-fis of all time. Now, if I'm to judge it as one of the best sci-fis of all time, I'm going to judge it with sort of like.
But you should judge it on its own merit.
I am but I am judging it on its own merit. I'm just look. There's two things going on here. Like on the one hand, it's like I watched it and loved it. It's a really, really good film. But retrospectively, it for me it doesn't belong with the company that it's kept over the last few years. Only if it does on its aesthetic merit. But like alongside, like if we're going to talk about it along with one of the best sci-fi movies of all time, it doesn't, and that's the reason. And the reason.
But you would put AI on that list because most people wouldn't put AI on that list. Probably even Spielberg wouldn't put AI on that list.
Okay.
I don't think AI is not. It's well received. It's not that well received.
When you say most people wouldn't,
well, sci-fi fans. Well, I don't think it would be.
What will be the number one? 2001.
No, 2001's rubbish. I hate 2001. Nothing happens in 2001. It probably was very.
That would be on the top of most critic lists.
Probably, but I don't know. What do you want from a? Depends what you're looking for. Like Ex Machina does a good job at questioning what.
But I think Blade Runner very much set the tone in that sort of direction. I do like it. I just think have it being the third time I've seen the movie. Naturally, I'm not just going to watch the movie for what it is, like I would on a first watch.
No, but then it's also my first time watching the movie.
Yeah,
and I would say. See, that's the thing. The first time I watched it, I sort of had the same. It's sort of the reverse of what you had. I sort of didn't think it was worth. I didn't really think it was much worth talking about. And then I saw it again, probably when the first trailer came out for the new one, about May time, and I really liked it because I think kind of added up a lot more that time. And then this time I watched it and I kind of had roughly the same opinions the second time. Like it just sort of confirmed what I thought the second time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Could it be the versions you've seen? I don't know.
No,
have you?
I don't know. I don't think it's but you're guessing my point. Maybe
no,
I'm not saying I don't enjoy it.
No, I know what your point is. I just you say you wouldn't class it as some of the best sci-fi films.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that. I'm saying it's like aesthetically you would.
Yeah, but
as a sort of film, this is what's quite confusing about this film because
what films are you comparing it to that you wouldn't class it as good as?
Well, like it's seen as one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. So you compare it to the best sci-fi movies of all time. Is it better than 2001? No.
Well, what would you? Do you see you're talking about what other people would define as the best?
I would define it as. You
would define 2001 as one of the best sci-fi movies of all time.
I mean, you understand you're in the minority there.
I don't think I am. I think most people don't think 2001's any good. Critics, yes, but like general audience, I don't think it's that well regarded. Mainly, it's
what makes you say that?
Well, because everyone I know who's I've watched a lot of podcasts slam it. And,
oh, okay.
But I think it's just
Solaris, also one of them. Probably my favourite sci-fi movie.
I haven't seen that. So
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like also a lot of the sort of Japanese manga, more dystopian stuff. Maybe not Ghost in the Shell, the original one. Well, what's quite interesting about Ghost in the Shell is the new Blade Runner is being compared with Ghost in the Shell, which is quite interesting. It's Akira, I think, is a better film. But yeah, no, I just think its merits are in its aesthetic. Like much of Ridley Scott's movies, they're very sort of they look very good. His world building, like if one thing Ridley Scott's going to be remembered for, it's the ability to realise these extremely dense and rich environments that his stories take place from. Not his stories. He's never been a great storyteller, and that's what I think. That's what I think.
No,
his real worth
I think I wouldn't say that. I'll say his stories are only as good as their script.
What do you mean?
Well, because Alien's a good story, The Martian's a good story. I say Blade Runner's a good story, but I would.
But what I'm thinking about, even
because of him that they're good, it's because of the script. And,
well, no, but that's like saying,
because I think what you're saying could be misinterpreted, saying like none of his films have good stories, or is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying his stories are just sort of they're never. If you remember things about Ridley Scott's movies, you don't remember the stories. It's not the first thing. It's the images that come to mind. With Alien, it's the imagery before it's the story.
Okay.
And also, like maybe, I understand the fact that he gets given scripts and stuff. Aliens is, the script is not the story. The film is the story, right? It's just he as a storyteller.
He didn't direct Alien.
No. Like James Cameron did. I'm just saying it shows with this very similar story how you can make it more compelling.
I think
in the hands of a director that's a better storyteller.
I prefer Alien to Aliens. But let's stick to.
We should do a Ridley Scott episode. He's a very confusing career.
Yeah,
very confusing,
very weird.
He's made some absolute dog shit.
He's made some very strange films for like him.
Also, Robin Hood, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in cinema. Is absolutely.
Why do they're going to make a new Robin Hood film as well? Like why?
I don't know.
It's got Taron Egerton. Is it Taron Egerton?
Oh,
no.
what the guy from Kingsman?
Yeah, it's going to be called Robin Hood Origins. But then I swear every Robin Hood film is an origins film anyway.
There's no desire. There's no appetite for a Robin Hood movie.
It's exactly the same as the King Arthur movie.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Medieval movies, no one wants to see them. No. I don't want to see them.
Let's put a dragon in them.
Or unless they're like a period drama. Not like this weird adventure kind of.
No, that's what they're just going to say King Arthur. Surely that shows there's no appetite.
Yeah.
But anyway, should we move to the main event?
Yeah, that's. Was that not the main event? Was that the?
No, the main event is Blade Runner 2049.
Alright, so you can't really talk about the plot before you spoil it, can you? I suppose Ryan Gosling plays Agent K, not the Men in Black Agent K.
No, very different.
A different Agent K, who's a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And he does some Blade running, and then something happens, and it starts an investigation which goes off in a spiral, and then he meets up with Rick Deckard somewhere along the line, and the adventure happens. It's weird, the film, in that it starts off very spoilery, and then
it starts off very spoilery.
Yeah, one of the first lines is a spoiler which isn't in the trailers. And
I told you it'd be difficult to talk about the movie. The first line.
And then suddenly he meets up with Rick Deckard, which we all know anyway. So you know what I mean? Like, it starts off with lots of spoilers, and suddenly.
Well, the director, Denis Villeneuve, said to critics, "Don't say anything about the movie when you review it," which seems quite. It sent a personal message to the critics at the press screening saying, "Don't say anything about."
Well, we can talk about. Tell you what we can talk about before we spoil it is the visuals, which there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
and the acting. I think that's quite. We can talk about.
Well, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing. I want to see it again, but at the same time, I don't want to see it again just because it's so long. I don't want to sort of. Because I feel I need to see it again just to take it in again. 'Cause it's very complex and there's a lot going on, but at the same time, it's so long and it's sort of slow at moments, but never so. These moments are never so long that it gets boring. Yeah, it's sort of like a car. There's bits which are just a guy walking down a corridor for like 2 minutes, or you know what I mean. Yeah. But it's still fascinating because you've got all this, the aesthetic going on in the background. That's so amazing that it's enough to occupy your mind with.
Definitely. I just think it was very, very, very good. But I think Denis Villeneuve as a director. I mean, if you look at his career trajectory over life, Denis the Menace.
No,
Denis the Menace.
It's Denis.
Dennis from Venice. He's French, isn't he? But it doesn't matter.
No, he's French Canadian.
Okay. Dennis from Vancouver was a the thing is, he understands contemporary movie culture better than probably any director working today. In that his last few movies, and I'll start that trajectory from Incendies, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily his most significant movie. It was back when Prisoners came out, right? Prisoners, yeah. Okay, so Prisoners, and then after Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, and then to Blade Runner.
How on earth has he made Sicario, Arrival, and this film in within 2 years?
Yeah, I know, it's incredible. But what he's done really well is that. Have you seen all of those films?
I've seen all of them apart from the one before Sicario. I think you said.
Oh, Enemy.
Yeah,
Enemy's fantastic. Enemy's probably his best film.
I've seen all his other English language ones.
Yeah. Enemy's fantastic. But what he does better than anyone else, he understands the sort of contemporary Hollywood environment. Well, not Hollywood, contemporary mainstream movie environment more than anyone else. He caters to the fans that sort of Christopher Nolan brought through with The Dark Knight. In that he wants to generate conversation about his movies by exploring quite complex themes in interesting ways. So with Arrival, it was the question of language and its power, but the way he explored it was really interesting. And then also, you know, for example, with Enemy, like in Blade Runner, he looks at things like identity. Prisoners as well, the sort of, you know, a sort of really dark look at humanism and, you know, the lengths we're willing to go for justice and all this sort of stuff. Sicario is probably not actually. I don't even enjoy Sicario that much.
idea. Sicario's out of all his films just like standard.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Yeah, but even still, he's asking questions. He's asking questions about sort of justice and, you know, what does it all. It's quite nihilistic.
Yeah.
But you know, he provokes all these questions and he does this in really interesting ways, and which often involve confusing his audience and also like enthralling them with films that just continue to unwind as you're watching them. Like Arrival is just continue like revelation after revelation.
Yeah,
he is he's a really strong gift for making you like hungry to find out where his films end up.
Yeah, I think you can definitely see maybe not with Sicario, but you can definitely see the progression. Like you can see that this Blade Runner film is a product of Arrival. Because they're very similar, like narratively, they're very similar.
Yeah, it's quite similar to the original Blade Runner narratively.
Yeah, yes,
yeah.
I think's good. Yeah, I don't know really.
But everything he does, like, has sort of led up to this film.
I suppose in terms of like the basic building blocks of the narrative, it probably is quite similar, but at the same time, it's a lot longer than the original, so there's obviously more room to play around with.
Yeah. But basically everything he's done sort of culminates with this film, in that he's like able to have free reign of the budget so big. But what he understands more than anything is what fans want, like what people who would consider themselves, who want more from their movies than just like schlop, want from their movies. And like he's been able to do that. And Arrival was proof of this. Blade Runner just cements that because he realises his vision like so well. And obviously his cinematography is incredible. What he does is he every aspect of this film is so well thought out and realised that it just becomes this sort of overwhelming experience.
Yeah, I think what's good is that it explores the same themes as Blade Runner, but it does it with a different story. Like it's a completely original idea.
I think it does it a lot better than the original. Yeah,
I need to see it more.
I just think one of the it looked absolutely incredible, which is obvious. I think like most people you have to watch the trailer to see. But I think by making it like giving it such a distinctive and sort of rich look, really sort of helps like underline all the sort of more philosophical things he's exploring in this movie.
Yeah,
like it really allows the story room to breathe. Like oh my god, like room to breathe. Like it's so long.
But also, it's like it's so well made. Like even the scenes which are clearly CG because there's no way that you'll be able to, you form them using practical effects.
Yeah,
they look really real.
Yeah,
like the opening shot of the film. I don't think that's a spoiler, really.
Yeah,
because it's the opening shot.
Yeah.
Is a load of solar farms.
Yeah,
and that it's obviously CGI, and yet it looks very real.
But he's able to sort of provoke and answer these questions using so many different ways. The score, the imagery, symbolism, the acting, everything. It's just this is we'll go to our ratings, but the more I think about it, the better it gets.
I think I need to think of something out for a while and then come back to it.
Digest it, yeah. We have just come straight from the cinema.
Yeah, we have. We've literally just got out. Well, maybe not. What's the time now?
It's fun.
3-4 hours ago. Mm. Speaking of the acting, do you want to? What do you think of the performances?
Yeah, all really good.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford looks like he's trying. Ryan Gosling looks very good.
I don't think any of them were best career making performances.
But everyone.
But maybe Jared Leto because he wasn't annoying. But
yeah, but it's interesting to see they've introduced a lot of European actresses.
Have they? What?
Well, there's Carla Yuri who plays.
Is that?
No, she plays.
Yeah,
but she's in it's called Wetlands.
Oh yeah, okay, she was.
So you know what I mean. So there's a lot of interesting casting going on. Robin Wright was also very good. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Robin Wright. Robin Wright's always very good.
Yeah.
To be able to steer the scene from Ryan Gosling takes some doing.
You reckon? You're a Ryan Gosling fan?
Yeah, I think he's. Can you say what you think he's not a good actor?
No, I think he's good. I'm not. I think
there are some like Hollywood actors who I question how they got where they were, and he's not one of them.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
like, well,
but so you saying he's good in comparison to other Hollywood actors, or he's just a good actor?
is there a difference?
Yeah, I think in isolation, like he can be a bit stoic, can't he?
It depends on. I think particularly. It's like we were saying earlier. He's got two modes. He's got his comedy mode and his drama mode.
This is maybe one of his best performances because he like really sort of he has this simmering under the.
He says very little, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't sort of go full drive or God forgive says nothing at all.
That's the thing. He doesn't say. Well, he doesn't say nothing. He says he probably has quite a lot of lines.
Yeah.
His silence speaks more than what he says a lot of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And but at the same time, you don't get this impression he's just a brooding.
Yeah, you get more than that. You get more.
Yeah, and that like you're not meant to. He's not meant to come.
In many ways, he's a perfect casting because of the sort of nature of his character.
Yeah, I want to start spoiling it now.
Go ahead.
Shall we? Yeah. Right. So
from now to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
I mean, like.
Yeah. Well, I'll put a timestamp at the bottom, just like when we talk about it. So what should we talk about first?
What did you think of the ending?
The ending, I thought. I didn't have a watcher anyway to have time. I thought it was going to keep going.
Yeah, same. It didn't feel like the ending until it ended.
I felt it could end here, but at the same time, I thought this would be a self-contained sequel. I didn't think that they would be open-ended.
Yeah,
I thought.
But the thing is, the director left these lovely open-ended.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the director's decision. I thought it was because it was too open-ended to be like. It's not like everything was solved and then there's a bit extra.
No, but I think it ended. Like, but the more I think about it, it's perfect. Yeah, it ends perfectly.
So if there's never another Blade Runner, you'll be like,
yeah.
I don't know. There's too many unanswered questions.
Because the whole point of the film isn't that the main villain is still about, or that or that there's this uprising of replicants happening. The main point of the film is that Kay realizes that he can be a hero, and the crux of that is shown in how he reunites with his daughter.
He can never enter society again. He's a criminal now.
But he was never part of society in the first place, really.
No,
he was abused by all of his friends.
But what can he do now?
It doesn't. That's the whole point.
Just hang out with Harrison.
No, it doesn't matter. The whole film's a sort of
or
journey.
die, which he may have done.
No, but that's not the point. The point is that with Kay, you see this journey from realizing that he is nothing. There's that moment early in the film where Robin Wright tells him that he has no soul, pretty much.
Yeah.
To realizing that he could be.
No, he says that. It's not. Robin Wright.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So it's come from nothing to realizing he could be more than something when he has this idea that he could be Deckard's son.
Yeah.
To then realizing he's nothing when he's told that it was a girl.
Yeah.
That it was actually Deckard actually had a good daughter. And then from going there, instead of joining the replicant revolution and killing Deckard, he is able to still show himself as something of resembling what it means to be human by bringing a father back together with his daughter. That's what the film's about. So in the midst of all of these questions about identity, the one thing that sort of humans have is this ability to love and care for each other. That's what I think the heart of the film is about.
I suppose that does make sense.
It would be not. I'm not saying I want a sequel. Yeah, I definitely want a sequel.
But I think it's too perfectly set up for a sequel to be. Like, I'm not saying.
But what I want is a sequel, and I just want it to be a fucking war between.
Yeah, that's
like,
what
I mean, like a Return of the King between.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was by no means what the film was about.
No.
But
it's never going to be about that, really.
No. But then, okay, I do get that point, and it is executed very well. But why mention that the replicants are having a revolution?
Because that's a sequel.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the point. But then it's not done enough. Like, I mean, like, okay, it's mentioned, and then he just sort of leaves.
Why do they want Deckard to die?
Yeah, I know.
Is it? So it could be because he's human and he's going to hold back the replicant revolution if...
Well, he's not really old. He's older.
Yeah, I know, but symbolically, if they're going to let a human live.
No.
At the same time, could he... Shall we start talking about is he human or a replicant?
Who, Deckard?
Yeah.
If you want to.
What's your gut feeling?
Probably human.
What did you go in thinking beforehand?
He's human.
You thought he was human.
Yeah, I never really thought he was a replicant.
I thought he was a replicant from the first film.
Yeah.
And then now I'm not sure. I think he could be human. I think Jared Leto hints that he's a replicant, but then there are hints before that which hint that he's.
Well, I think what Jared Leto wants to do is he wants to sort of he wants to really sort of.
Like I would call him Jared Leto, and not what's the character's name? It's Wallace, isn't it?
Yeah, Wallace.
It's not even a hard name to remember. It's
I do sort of. I mean, okay. Well, this is a nice place to introduce a theory that has been bubbling around the internet.
Yeah.
Recently by Mark Miller, one of my favourite comic book writers.
You refuse to tell me this.
No, because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I'll.
So is this a review, or is it just?
No, he prefaces it by saying it's one of the best movies of the decade.
Yeah.
And Mark Miller's a comic book writer, wrote Kick-Ass, wrote a lot of other comic books. I've met him.
You've met him?
At a Comic-Con ages ago. So basically, what he's saying is that the film is actually addressing the question of whether or not Deckard is a replicant.
Is that it?
That's what the movie is. Okay, so sort of, let me just sort of, I'm just trying to figure out where to start. You can cut this. So he wants to say that Ryan Gosling's character is not real. He's basically in the film as a fake memory of Deckard's. Okay, which is crazy. Yeah. Miller seems to read the first film that the first film wants to ask the question because obviously the ending of the first film where he's told about the unicorn put into his head. Yeah. So basically at the end of the first Blade Runner...
Well, it's hinted or it could be a coincidence.
Well, he lets him know that the unicorn dreams were all pre-programmed. And that begins to make us ask, hold on, is Deckard real? Was he a replicant or was he sort of human? And that he was just sort of implanted with these memories. But the whole point of the movie, says Mark Miller, is that it answers that question whether Deckard's a replicant. So basically, it's the sort of Gosling being the main character is a red herring to this plot, right? The horse is a fake memory that they put inside Gosling's head, which is true. Which is true. Which is also a visual relative of the unicorn from the first movie to flag it up to us to bring him to Deckard. It's a horse that brings him to Deckard. But
was
the
it
whole
a horse, though?
thing, hey?
So did he say it was a horse?
When you look at it,
yeah, it could be I don't know, it could be like a zebra or donkey or something. It's not.
Yeah, you know, fucking hell, it could be a tortoise. You know, we don't know how good a carver Deckard is. You know, maybe he meant to make a dog and it just ended up looking like a horse. I mean, you know, the whole thing apparently is a fake memory that was sent to Deckard to bring him to his daughter. So the AI girlfriend with the snowflakes falling on her wrist, replicated by Gosling later in the movie when he realised this was never a real. When he realised he was never real. Is there to hammer home this point. Like Fight Club, he existed nowhere else beyond the mind of another character in the movie, and every event prior to Deckard coming into the picture was fake. Hinted at by Gosling's boss too, when she says he has no soul, and he pauses for a second, almost in recognition of his own unreality. The final clue is his name. He's called K, and later Joe. His name is thus Joe K, or Joke. He was never real, and the girl even talks about leaving these little clues here when she makes the fake memories. It's because basically he thinks that the ending is it's a final clue to this. The question about, Deckard being human. Basically he is. Deckard's a replicant.
Well, I'm glad that he didn't write this film. So,
what do you think?
I think it's a bit insane.
Oh, but let's run with it though. Why is she making snow in the chamber?
Because is there anyone else in there with her?
No, she's making a fake memory of snow. Why?
Because she couldn't know it's snowing outside.
Unless it was a dream. Why was she not turning around? She never looks at Deckard. It ends with Deckard looking at her.
She does. She turns around at the end, doesn't she?
Mark Miller seems to say that when she's making only when she's finished. The actress was continuing this, so we couldn't see what was happening and what she was working on. Basically, she's creating the final memory before Deckard reaches him.
No, I don't think so. It's just...
Yeah.
Because she said herself that she does what she does so that she can feel what other people feel on the outside. So she knows it's snowing outside, so she makes snow so that she can understand what it's like to...
It's sort of difficult to not disprove, but I mean, it's also sort of not... Is this an alternate reading, really?
Fan theory as well.
No, a lot of fan theories are gobshite, though.
I suppose.
This one at least seems to grasp at some of the...
I don't know, some of it's out there. Like his name's Joke.
Even if you haven't, even if it wasn't that, even if that wasn't in the movie, the would still hold.
I don't know. Why would it? How could she get the memories into his head?
I don't think it's just impossible to say that Ryan Gosling's character is not real. That's
he's definitely real.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say he's not a sheep either.
I do think that she has been putting memories into the minds of other replicants, though.
But that suggests, and I think you're suggesting as well, that she can transmit memories into replicants after they've been made.
Yes.
And there's no proof of that.
Yes, you're right. That's true.
I don't think
that's another question. Like, because then you have to ask the question of, like, who carved the date into the tree and why? The daughter, like, because she could have...
What was significant about that date? I can't remember. Besides the fact that it's also on their horse.
Yeah.
I don't think... Or is it a date? It might not be a date.
It's a date because it's a date that's used to bring him to the records, and it shows him that the records... That's where you get... That's what...
Oh, is that when she leaves the orphanage?
Yeah.
It can't be when she leaves the orphanage.
No, but it's what brings him to look at the... Because once he sees the date, he investigates the date of birth, and he sees that...
So that was the day she was born.
But also the day that he thinks he was born.
Yes, but only because he thinks that he's... Because he's got that...
But that's the purpose of the date. That's the purpose of the date.
It could be... See, I wouldn't be against the idea that she implanted her own memories into him because she wanted him to find her father. But the idea that he's... Which is similar to that, but then it negates the fact that he's not real. Why does... I don't agree. Yeah, I think like the more you ask questions about it. Also, was Deckard there when Rachel gave birth? It's a bit ambiguous. He says he had to run. Did it say when? No, he wasn't because he didn't meet her.
Yes, but then
he knew it was a daughter. Did he?
And also, how did I think that you can assume because old scam, but then true. But how did the daughter then get the wooden horse if he wasn't there? Because it
could have made it beforehand and Dave Bautista.
And wrote her date of birth on it.
Well, no, because Dave Bautista could have written her date of birth on it.
But who? Dave Bautista, by the way, great performance, I thought.
Yeah. Shame wasn't very long.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a sequel, he'll probably be in it because there'll be like flashbacks or something.
But also, you get the hint that Deckard has created all of his wooden figures in Vegas.
It's implied that Dave Bautista fathered it. Well, yeah, the one was definitely there from the beginning. Yeah. So that was definitely Las Vegas then.
Yeah.
It wasn't said, was it?
I just think, it's quite confusing. This one becomes a bit confusing. Because, we don't know if it's the date. Yeah, we don't know what the date is.
Also, because Rachel was made by Tyrell to be... to have, not have a short lifespan. And it could just be that he made her with a functioning uterus and stuff, set off.
Well, we know that basically,
it's not necessarily. I mean, I suppose that does then hold the key for.
Well, this is what
then made.
Yes, yeah. So he wants to create a replicant race, doesn't he? What an interesting thing. And this was something that came to mind was when he sees the prostitute. When Kay sees the prostitute.
What's her name? Mackenzie Davis.
Maybe.
Is it?
But anyway, when he sees the prostitute, she picks up the horse and recognises it. What does she reckon?
Does she? She picks it up, but I thought it was just curiosity.
No, she said something, and also it seems to suggest
she said something to the girlfriend, but there was something along the lines of "You're not good enough for him" or something like that. It wasn't anything to do with the horse.
But she seems to pick it up and recognise it because we know that, or do we know that Gosling is the only person with these memories in him?
No, not necessarily. And he might not have all of her memories either. He could have a mix of fake memories and her memories.
Maybe.
But then that's the only memory that really matters to find in Deckard. Also, it's not made clear that Deckard is Rachel's father until it's stated that he is.
No.
You know what I mean? If you've never seen the first Blade, if you've seen the first Blade Runner, you will know. But Like, if you haven't, it's just Ryan Gosling sort of says, when did you know that you were that child's father? Which I thought was a bit weird. That's something I don't think they did as well. I think they probably should have hinted a bit more that he was her father. What's her name? I can't remember.
But then, okay, so I do think there's something significant in that cut in between snow. I do think the fact that she's creating snow is significant. That is very significant. Because he is lying in snow and she is making snow at the time that he goes in. That's significant. It shows that there's something of a connection between them.
Yeah, there could be.
Like, this director is.
I suppose also when he arrives, she's not. When Ryan Gosling arrives to speak to her, she's not surprised to see him, really. She doesn't seem that surprised.
No. And when she sees his memories. Because you thought, didn't you, that she would have. She doesn't really show that she recognises it.
No.
Yeah.
Or does. Maybe I was just so distracted by Ryan Gosling's reaction, or Kay's reaction to it.
To what?
Because he starts like screaming when she says that. So I suppose that detracts from her reaction. But,
do you think it adds anything to the question of whether Deckard is a replicant?
No, because she could be either way. He could be a replicant, and so she's entirely replicant, and then that gives Wallace what he wants.
Yeah.
But then, see, on one hand, it gives Wallace what he wants. On the other hand, if Deckard's human, then she will be a mix of the two races, and therefore is like kind of like a Jesus type figure, like hold hopes for like.
I still don't get why they. I just still don't get why they want to kill
Deckard.
I just don't know why. Yeah, why do they want to kill Deckard?
Maybe because he ran away and she doesn't like him.
But his reasoning for running away is pretty sound, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, he said that was always the plan. You don't know how. You don't even know if she's telling the truth. Was she there when? Was that her holding the baby in that photo? The Asian woman.
I think it was, yeah, because it wasn't Rachel.
No, but I couldn't really see her face. Maybe that's just bad. Might be in an IMAX screen that we saw it in.
Yeah, it was well worth seeing it on IMAX, actually. Definitely.
Have you got anything else to say about it?
I just think it was very, very good. I think
it's very good how they sort of updated the technology based on that world. Like how they still did the eye test, but it was just a little handheld device.
Yeah, definitely. It really cements. The new this director.
It's not a futuristic world anymore, is it? Because the first one's set in 2 years' time. It's just
there's a lot of sort of quite knotty themes that it tackles, which I'm not sure, which I think will in time be debated a lot more. Themes about, because it really has something to say about sexuality, doesn't it?
Do you want to talk about that?
If you want to.
Yeah, I don't mind. I would say women don't have a massive role in it, but all the women are very significant to the plot.
But I just think generally, like, the role of sex in this movie it has a massive role in this movie.
Go on. I feel you got more.
It's overwhelming, like, sort of adverts of like the virtual sex. Ryan Gosling's girlfriend is virtual.
Yeah, and she's the sort of go-to, like, the poster girl for the. Is that a brothel being advertised?
Yeah, well, I think it's the model that she is being advertised.
Maybe, but then I would imagine that they could make her look like anything because she's only a hologram.
Yeah, true.
She's not a full. I got the impression that Kay wanted her to look like that.
Maybe
he chose that.
But yeah,
because also he's a very naive person in terms of the real world, so you might just see that poster and think, "I want a girlfriend like that."
I suspect that it's making the point, but I'm not sure that the digital world is replacing genuine feelings. That is replacing genuine intimacy.
I don't think so, because she felt like a real character. She didn't feel like
technology's heading in a scary place.
Yeah, like it wasn't like what's the one called Her? It's not like Her where the robot's like, I'm in love with you, but I'm also in love.
But then they had that
200 other people.
That weird sex.
She did feel very
sex scene, which was really creepy.
Yeah, but she chose that as well. Like she.
I just think I need to unpack this a lot more, but I don't know because it has a lot. I thought it would say a lot more about climate change, but it's snowing all the time.
Yeah, that's
it just shows that basically.
It's the same with the first Blade Runner. There's rain in Los Angeles, and then there's snow in Los Angeles.
But also, basically, it's going to get colder apparently. Los Angeles knows heat.
I think Los Angeles probably be buried under the sea before it.
Well, unless Mark Miller's theory is true, and actually it's full of dream. But
the first Blade Runner wouldn't be a dream. It still rains.
and also just interesting things like we've got trash everywhere. Put it in space.
That's true. all this stuff about off-world colonies, just chuck it on Mars or something.
I like how off-world colonies are not visited. It'd be interesting.
I think the sequel that'd be interesting to visit.
Although you said it's not done that well at the box, it's set to have quite disappointing.
I think they'll still make a sequel, even if unless it does really badly. It's dominated the box office, but it's still disappointing. It says. So imagine.
It's not had much.
I think it'll underperform, but it'll still be the best. And there's not much coming out now until Ragnarok in terms of blockbusters. I don't think.
And that's in a few weeks. Well, what's next week?
No, Ragnarok's not coming out until November in the US.
Yeah. The Snowman comes out next week, and something else.
Is it Battle of the Sexes?
No, it's a big movie. I don't know what it is, but
no, I know.
But anyway, the point is that I don't know if it would be if Villeneuve would. He didn't strike me as a sort of director that wants to that looks that will want to make.
Well, he's doing a sequel to Dune next.
Oh fucking hell!
But it's not that he doesn't necessarily need to direct it. But I definitely think there will be a sequel.
Do you want there to be a sequel?
I do. I think that's part of the reason why I'm so certain that there will be one. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yes. Do you want to do ratings?
Do you want to explain the rating system again?
Yeah,
because I forget it every time.
Yeah, sure. Well, we have expectation, experience, retrospect. Although retrospect will still be scaled back significantly. Normally it would be like at least 24 hours before. Sort of. Well, I think my opinion has definitely changed in retrospect.
You always said before that retrospect was from like the walk to the train station back home or something. But I think that's too short a time. I think it needs to be at least a couple of days for retrospect.
Yeah. Well, let's do it anyway.
All right. I'd say it's kind of got to be beforehand 5, just because of the reviews it got. See, I knew nothing about this film going in besides the first trailer which I saw, but I still knew that it had really good reviews. Yeah, I didn't know what those reviews were, but I knew they were, universal acclaim, and so, and because I watched the first one a few days before and I got into it, I was like, right, I'm really up for this now.
Yeah. I sort of 4.5.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the reviews and stuff, because I tend to avoid those, which I don't normally do. I just sort of, it's it just wasn't really. Yeah, I don't know. It just sort of.
Yeah, you said that. Did you say that you weren't looking forward to it?
I'm not the biggest Denis Villeneuve fan. I think he can be quite ambiguous and not in a good way. I thought Arrival was good, but
yeah, Arrival wasn't amazing. I want to see Prisons again. I feel like I haven't seen it in a while.
It's pretty bleak though.
It's really, but I did like how it was just like a.
Thing is, we're inundated with movies and of like reboots or based in the same universe, which sort of stifles the really good ones in that my expectation will never be super high when it's related to a franchise.
Yeah. It's like I didn't like the fact that it was marketed very well in that it didn't spoil anything, but at the same time I didn't like the fact that Harrison Ford was in basically most of Harrison Ford's scenes were in the trailers and in the promotional material, and yet his role was in more than a cameo.
Yeah, but I
can see why they did it.
It was central. I think because Harrison Ford in interviews, they've been doing so many bloody interviews. Everywhere said that he was sort of approached later than Gosling because his character is sort of, which is good because it means they weren't shoehorning anything in.
Yeah, they could have done it.
They could have had it. I mean, God, there's an Indiana Jones movie coming up, and I reckon they'll shoehorn him in there. Well, he's Indiana Jones, but you know what I mean? Like, it's similar to with Star Wars. They could have shoehorned him in a lot more, which I think is the best way to do it. So what was your expectation for? But this is the point, like with
So what's the middle one again?
What you actually like, sort of when you got out of the cinema, you stepped out the door.
General stepped out the door.
Yeah,
I think we need a catchier name for that.
An experience. What about quick take? No, that's
we can't rename my next week. So my middle score would probably be 4.5. Well, yeah, we did it. We did a live. I asked you.
Neither of us really could.
And we both said 4.5.
Yeah.
So
and now in retrospect,
4.75.
What's stopping you from being 5 stars?
I feel I need to think about it more and decide. This has happened with every film we've discussed. Is that I've had an opinion, I've gone in with an opinion, and then we've talked about it a lot, and it shifts one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I want to know, after you've done this podcast, I'll think about it some more, and I'll actually come up with a final judgment. We can talk about this again next week. Maybe not for the whole part of our time, but I'll probably have a more decisive opinion about it next week.
Yeah, sort of 5. I want to say 5, but some things in the movie.
So you're having the same thing with me. It's just
no, but I do think this is a movie unlike anything I've seen. Yeah, and it's just it is sort of like incredible. It is alright.
But I think it is, but only because it's original. There's been other films which are unlike.
No, but it sort of left a really strong emotional impression on me. That final scene was really
the final
really
scene.
Really. The characters were really, really well realised. Everything was sort of. The only thing that's really sort of making me... It's a 5 for me in retrospect. What's really sort of making me put my foot down and wave my hand over. 5-star definitely is... some of the more confusing aspects of the film, which didn't necessarily mar the enjoyment, but sort of still just leave me being like, that's a bit weird. Yeah. And particularly the sort of questions about this whole memory implanting business that we spoke about. Yeah.
Which I haven't looked to see if they're planning a sequel, but they must be. Just by the way.
Maybe they're waiting.
Maybe. I don't even know what the budget was. It can't be that high.
It's got to be pretty high.
It'll probably be around. It won't be any more than 150.
Maybe. There's a 15.
Which isn't that high.
It's interesting. I wonder who they're targeting.
Well, with things like Logan and Deadpool and stuff, it sort of shows that you can make a lot of money from a R-rated film.
But they were sort of Logan was still Deadpool. Well, pretty much as a teen movie.
Yeah.
And then it's comedy. And Logan was pretty much like an action, a western, sort of. It was a balls to the wall action, wasn't it?
I would say it's really balls to the wall.
Mate, it was claws to the balls action.
Yeah, but it had a lot more depth as well. It's not just surface level action. It's very.
But it was sort of marketed as it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't marketed.
I mean, it wasn't doing what this film did, which is sort of totally subverted, totally make you sort of.
No.
It was this film was deep,
it was always gonna be,
and it was very experimental. It was the closest thing to an art movie I've seen, as in IMAX, definitely.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Who's gonna watch? Because also people who watch Blade Runner, because Blade Runner was really a cult movie anyway, and I'm not sure if the legacy of Blade Runner has. It's always been in the public consciousness, but not actually that many people have seen it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it might be. I reckon.
I don't think it was a cult movie. A lot of people saw it when it came out.
Okay, maybe then. But it's been reissued enough times, sort of. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. There doesn't seem to be the similar audience to Arrival, but that was sort of a small movie.
But to be fair, the screening we went to, it wasn't that full, but it was very full for a Sunday early morning screening.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to bank on the strength of the reviews.
Yeah,
and the cast.
Do you think award buzz for this film?
Well, obviously this is the whole Roger Deakins meme as well, isn't it? About how he's basically Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. Been nominated for many cinematography awards.
Did he do this film as well?
Yeah, and hasn't won. He did this film. Yeah, this is the thing. He's going to generate that.
He should have won for Skyfall, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, he's the top class.
Yeah.
So I mean, he should win, but I mean,
I don't think he'll win Best Picture, but it might Mad Max it. It'll be nominated for everything and just win all the technical. But at the same time, Dunkirk, I'd say it's probably up for that as well.
There won't be any acting on today.
Yeah, maybe Ryan Gosling's Best Actor nomination.
You reckon?
Maybe. Sort of in an outside bet.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very, very good.
That's the only one I can imagine.
Director, maybe.
I did think his girlfriend was very well acted.
Yeah.
What else has she been in?
I don't know.
She reminds me of the woman from Trainspotting 2. But it's not her.
No.
I don't know. They sound quite similar.
But, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Villeneuve's been nominated before, hasn't he? So
I think it might go to Christopher Nolan just as a lifetime achievement.
You reckon?
Recognition. Maybe. I think these two will probably dominate. Definitely in terms of the blockbuster films that get nominated, it'll be these two.
Yeah, definitely.
So now we'll finish up with the news as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And just got one story today.
Yeah.
Because we've gone on for so long.
Yeah. It's
that apparently the DC Expanded Universe doesn't exist and it's never existed.
Who said that?
The the DCU chief, Diane Nelson, has said that the DCU was something that was invented, it was something that's named by the press, and like DC have never used that term, and that there's no insistence upon an overall storyline or connectivity in that universe. Instead, Nelson says the audience will see the DC movie universe being a universe, but one that comes to the heart of the filmmaker who creates them.
Well, I think this is with the view to talking about Aquaman, isn't it? Aquaman, sorry. Basically, she said that the goal of Aquaman is not to connect it with every DC movie. I think that's what she said. So it is in relation to Aquaman. But I think the interpretation of that was that DC don't want to sort of restrict themselves with like the baggage of continuity because they fucked it up so much.
Yeah, and also it's a good way to get rid of, like, explain away a bad film.
Because Jeff Johns, the chief of DC EU, well, maybe not because they don't want to call it that, but Jeff Johns, who's sort of big comic book writer, have you heard?
Yeah.
Wrote, he basically said on Twitter that it's 100% connected. But I think I understand what they're saying here, because they've realised there's been a backlash from the fans that, you know, fans don't like inconsistency as the popularity of cinema has told us anything, and they want to be careful that they don't want that to be a barrier against from which the quality of their future movies are judged against. They want them to be judged as standalone movies. So to say, I guess, they're connected means that they have to sort of tweak the movie to fit in like a jigsaw piece with the rest of what's going on.
I mean, maybe they're starting to learn what Marvel learned after Iron Man 2, that you can't just make your film a trailer for another film. Or in Batman vs Superman's case, have a trailer for the next one in the middle of the film.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot to learn, haven't they?
Yeah, and also the whole idea that she says one thing and he says the other, that sort of just shows what a mess DC
No,
is.
I think they're pretty. I think one thing is what she said was taken to mean something else.
But at the same time, people love Wonder Woman. They don't want that to go away, but then they hate everything else about the DCU. So perhaps But
I think they're all
saying
connected.
you can still have your Wonder Womans, but we're going to put this emphasis on, you know, stuff you don't like.
Well, it won't make any sense to say it's not connected because of just the existence of Justice League. So I mean, they are connected, but I just think like she's basically saying that we fucked up. So we just look forward now. Just see these movies as what they are. I mean, like, I think that's what she's basically trying to say without essentially admitting that they fucked up.
I also think, well, there's another aspect as well, which is the whole crater bed stuff. You know, they talk about the Martin Scorsese produced Joker movie.
Yeah. Well, I'll see that one. I believe that when I see it. Like
standalone. I think that's like pretty much a done deal. I think that's more likely to happen than, like, at the moment, than like Green Lantern is or Shazam, or because after Aquaman they haven't really got anything set in stone.
Yeah,
it's just what they can. They've got lots of ideas, but it seems like nothing's really coming to fruition.
Well, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Like, who knows? The thing with DC is that it's just
such a mess.
But you know, no one knows what's going on until you see the movie. And once you see the movie, you realise,
But the fact that
no
Marvel
idea what to do.
was able to create a cinematic universe on the back of being C-list characters, and DC can't do it with 3 or 4 of the most well-known superheroes, the most loved superheroes of all time.
Yeah.
So it just shows how.
Yeah. And that's why I think she's trying to sort of expel this distrust of DC.
Yeah.
That is sort of beginning to emerge amongst its sort of hardcore fan base.
We
don't trust the filmmakers you've enlisted to make the films we want to see.
Yeah. But you know how you overcome that? You make
Making good movies.
Film.
Yeah.
You don't announce stuff and then.
Yeah, but I think that I reckon what there is they know that Justice League is shit. Every future project distancing it from this connected universe, like, oh my god, we've got another steaming pile of shit we've got to market.
Also, do you think Justice League will make any money?
Yeah,
I don't know how many people.
It'll be similar to how Batman vs Superman fared, in that, like, sort of, they have this initial wave of.
But I don't think there's that much anticipation for.
Justice when it comes, it will be anticipated. I don't think with Batman.
People were waiting for Batman for, like, since it was announced, people were on tenters for it. Justice League, I don't think anyone really cares about.
No.
I'm not saying people won't go and see it, because they will. But
Yeah, that's what I mean. There'll be this initial wave of people that go see it. Because the thing is, superhero movies have a bigger core fan base in the genre. Like, people will see it. I mean, people like us who will see it despite its reviews.
Yeah.
Like, it could review -1 on Metascore, and I'll go see it.
I probably wouldn't.
You say that.
Yeah.
You say that. You went to see The Mountain Between Us, for God's sake.
Mountain Between Us has got good reviews.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like, not really. Like,
I don't see bad things that have been badly received.
no, but you know what I mean, though. The fact that it's the Justice League will sort of bring you to
No, I completely agree. But at the same time, I'm not looking forward to it.
No.
It's like...
I'm sort of like... I mean, it's happening. I will see it. It's just sort of... I accept sort of...
It's like blockbusters coming up. You've got Ragnarok and then you've got Star Wars. Oh, yeah, and also Justice League. Somewhere down there. It's...
I don't know what it's going to be.
No. But yeah, something I forgot to mention when we were doing Blade Runner. Sure, I'll bring it back up now. Do you think... Well, I suppose we've already seen it with Train Spotting and Independence Day 2. But do you think there'll be like more of an emphasis on doing like sequels decades later rather than rebooting the franchise?
Maybe. I think it's only on these movies that have... There's a finite pool of these movies that have continued to resonate with their audience over time. And there's a sort
But
of...
what's the difference between this and a reboot? This is basically a reboot. It's just a new story.
I think it's a sort of those films have in common is they sort of left behind as much of an open ending as the directors have been able to tease out from their respective sequels. So I haven't seen Independence Day 2, but you know what I mean. Like,
don't.
But like the ending of the first was sort of it was closed, but it could also be reopened. The aliens could just invade again, which by the look of it, what happened?
what else is going to happen?
But basically, the first one was sort of it was a big hit. So I think maybe they can continue. The thing is, what they need to do is come up with original ideas. What they've done, which is quite unique about Blade Runner, is that they've done both. They've simultaneously got an existing property and injected it with new ideas. And if that is a precedent, then that's exciting.
Could they theoretically like make a film around the basic idea of what the story for Blade Runner 2049 is, but just do it originally. Do an original story.
Maybe. I think it would still have to be. Possible. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Bits.
I think then it just becomes what separates it between a dystopian future drama and the Blade Runner.
Well, nothing. But yeah, I'm not saying that that's not the point. I'm just making it. I'm just saying it could.
Be
entirely original.
I mean, but also like for every Blade Runner. 2049, there's Terminator.
I'm not saying they will be good. But I'm saying I think there will be a resurgence.
But the unfortunate truth behind that is just Hollywood's out of ideas.
Yeah,
it doesn't know what to do other than invest in things that don't people.
Rather than do like a decades later sequel, which is like a soft reboot, then just do a remake.
Yeah, it's only really you see that with movies that are like A, dated really badly, or B, like really. Like Spider-Man, fucked up the first time.
Like, did quite well the first time, fucked up the second time, and then.
Basically. So, and that's only really exclusive to things like superhero movies, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. What could there be?
And Point Break was rebooted, but that's because the original aged really badly. I can see why they rebooted Point Break.
With Ray Winston doing an American accent.
But anyway, yes.
I don't know what else they could do a sequel for. Can't be much. Actually, she's still got a big backing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We have to think about that. This week. Emails.
Yeah, emails. is this your? No, I've got to say what film we're doing next week first.
Oh yeah.
You almost forgot about it again.
Yes, let's go.
Right, so next week we may be doing a London Film Festival special if we can get.
Well, I'll definitely see some films and.
And then the week after then, I guess. Next time one of us does our chooses a film. Well, so either next week, because obviously today's a Tuesday, next Friday, The Death of Stalin gets released, and I've told you before, I'm looking forward to that very much.
Yes.
So because of that, I'm going to recommend a film of which Mano Iannucci has absolutely no involvement.
Little red herring there.
But it's directed by Chris Morris. Do you know the film I'm going to suggest? It's directed by Chris Morris, who worked with Amano and Nucci
Oh.
on their first TV project, which was I can't remember what it's called. It's really famous as well. You should know it. And it's filmed in a very similar vein to sort of Amano and Nucci's signature style, and it's probably just as controversial, or probably more controversial, as a film about the death of a tyrant. It's the 2011 comedy.
Oh, is this Four Lions? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
it?
I love Four Lions. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting to discuss.
Yes.
So that will be next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens next week.
Yeah. I'm looking
If
forward
you
to
want to
actually.
complain
I'm
about
Four
how
Lions
disorganised we are,
like
do you
this.
want to, yeah.
Well, basically, you've been listening to me, Aaron, and him, Jack.
Bye.
Basically, yes. Thank you very much for listening. You can get in touch with us on our email, which is mildperilpod@gmail.com. Tweet us at Twitter. Well, yes, obviously. mildperilpc, and the YouTube little bit in the description, because YouTube, just a random jumble.
The YouTube we have. Well, we've got one video up.
Listen, it'll become a veritable goldmine of content.
There'll be a lot of extra stuff on the YouTube channel.
Follow Jack on Twitter at JackMShep, me on Twitter, AaronKakar1, and you can also follow us on Letterboxd. Me at Kaka Arun, and Jack at JackMShep with the J, M, and S capitalised.
I think I'll get rid of that because it's too confusing.
What?
Like the capitalisation, not the.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just because the search engines can be quite funny about.
I don't know.
Letterboxd is pretty. When it comes to using it, it's case sensitive, which is bloody annoying. But yes, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
And,
I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, go back and listen to our other podcast,
please.
That'll be really helpful for us. Yeah, that's it then. Bye.
Thank you.